What do Jeff Bezos, OpenAI, Microsoft, Nvidia, Intel Capital, and ARK Invest share in common? They invested $675 million into Figure AI, a 12-month startup valuing it at $2.6 billion. Not bad for 1 year of work. But what do these brilliant investors know that most of the general population doesn't? In this video, you're going to discover how Figure AI became so valuable so quickly, why a certain company's pain might just be your gain, and when I plan to capitalize on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and why I'm wearing this hoodie. But first, we need to understand why the big boys played such a large price tag on such a little company. And for this, we need to go back in time before those pesky humans. Imagine a pristine world, untouched resources, untapped potential. This is a world without economics, where value only exists in its raw form. And then enter us. We have needs, desires, and our greatest tool, the ability to work. We see a tree, but we don't just see a tree. We see shelter, warmth, and tools. It's through our labor that this potential transforms into value. But we can't do everything ourselves, although I know a few people who think they can. So we specialize, about 3.5 billion specialized creators, innovators, and problem solvers. It is their labor that is the bridge between our wants and the resources to fulfill them. Without labor, there is no production, no value creation. It is the primary limiting factor for economic growth. But what happens in a world where labor becomes limitless? Massive disruption. And where there's disruption, there's opportunity. And visionaries like Bezos and OpenAI know this, which is why they're writing massive checks to fledgling young robotic startups. But if you're not a billionaire, how do you capitalize on humanity's magnum opus? Luckily for you, I think I've got the answer. But before we get to that, we need context. How are one-year-old startups leapfrogging companies like Boston Dynamics that have been in the robot game for decades? In the same manner that horse-drawn transportation lost to the rise of Ford's automobiles, not by doing things differently, but by discarding the old playbook entirely. Imagine you're giving a friend directions to your house. The list of steps to get them from point A to point B is programming. You've been programming your entire life. And while directions may be an easy thing to program, some programming challenges are near impossible. For instance, compare how easy giving directions is to telling someone how to identify these digits. If you think this feels near impossible, you're right. But using neural networks makes this stupid easy. Instead of giving the computer instructions on how to identify the digits, you show the computer a bunch of images of the numbers and let it figure it out on its own. Here's Elon sharing that they've largely solved full self-driving by replacing 300,000 lines of code with around 3,000 using a neural network approach. Computers can now perceive and respond to countless scenarios in an infinitely unpredictable world. But what I think that is missed by most is that computers can learn exponentially faster than we humans. Moreover, unlike humans, if one robot learns something new, they can share it with all of their robot buddies. And if you don't believe me that the humanoids are coming, watch Figure 1 in action.
Hey Figure 1, what do you see right now?
I see a red apple on a plate in the center of the table, a drying rack with cups and a plate, and you standing nearby with your hand on the table.
Great, can I have something to eat?
Sure thing.
Great. Can you explain why you did what you just did while you pick up this trash?
On it. So I gave you the apple because it's the only edible item I could provide you with from the table.
Great. So, based on the scene right now, where do you think the dishes in front of you go next?
The dishes on the table, like that plate and cup, are likely to go into the drying rack next.
Great. Can you put them there?
Of course.
All right, so how do you think you did?
I think I did pretty well. The apple found its new owner, the trash is gone, and the tableware is right where it belongs.
I agree. Thanks, Figure One.
You're welcome. If there's anything else you need help with, just let me know.
And that's why these tech titans invested in Figure. They realized that recent breakthroughs make humanoid workers something that'll happen next year, and that even swapping just a small portion of that 3.5 billion in labor force is a mind-boggling opportunity. So who wins? I think the answer is crystal clear. When Tesla faced early production struggles with the Model 3, many saw it as a failure. But within that production hell lay the seeds of Tesla's superpower: first principles manufacturing excellence. The relentless struggle to refine their manufacturing processes forced them to innovate, iterate, and learn at a pace unmatched by competitors, or quite frankly anywhere. Tesla can now build a car in just 10 hours, a third of the time it takes Volkswagen and other competitors. The foundation for Tesla's robotics ambitions isn't theoretical, it's already under their own roof. And for those of you who haven't realized it yet, Tesla's vehicles are essentially sophisticated robots on wheels, providing the company with extensive expertise in AI, sensor systems, battery management, and locomotion. And this is to say nothing of their Dojo supercomputer, their distribution advantages, their Boring Company or SpaceX technology, or a myriad of other technological advantages that they have. But it's not just about their tech, it's also about timing. Tesla will deploy and test robot prototypes directly in its own factories, rapidly collecting real-world data and speeding up development while reducing their manufacturing costs. This drives down consumer costs, leading to more four-wheel data collection robots providing valuable data back to the mothership. And as you know what they say, data is the new gold. But if I'm right, and Tesla is uniquely positioned to take advantage of the largest economic shift in the history of humanity, again, history of humanity, why is it the worst performing stock in the S&P 500 year to date? Well, I'm going to turn this question to you. Before watching this video, do you think of Tesla's cars as data collection robots on wheels? I think the answer is hiding in plain sight. And also, how does this tweet make you feel, really? Now, of course, I could be wrong. I've been wrong plenty of times, but in this case, I don't think so. My Tesla long will be the largest bet of my lifetime. I currently value Tesla at $168 using a discounted cash flow without factoring in the Robux revolution. Tesla is trading at $162.55. Old Leo, who only relied on valuation for tax advantage position trades, would be backing up the truck. New Leo salivates every day it gets cheaper, waiting for either 1, Tesla shareholders to capitulate on no news with the weekly, daily, and hourly RSI hitting historic lows, or 2, Tesla to show relative momentum to the market. There is no need to ride something down. This is obvious to great traders like Oliver Kill. Valuation is important, but when it comes to triple-digit returns, timing is everything. And if you are interested in learning how to value a company, and Tesla specifically, check out this video from my professor, who I think is the best in the biz.